I would like to welcome the audience, the viewers, the listeners to join us in today's interview with our esteemed Prasanna Kasthuri from the Surya Performing Arts in St. Louis. It is my pleasure and an honor to be interviewing Prasanna Kasthuri. I would like to give a brief introduction of Surya Performing Arts, which is his brainchild, which he started off. Um, Prasanna established Surya Performing Arts in 2002 in St. Louis to promote Indian classical dance, music, and theatre in the greater Midwest of United States of America. He headed many projects supported by the prestigious Regional Arts Council of St. Louis and the Missouri Arts Council. He created unique productions such as Gokula Nirgamana, the first Indian opera ever performed outside India. In this production, dancers sang and moved simultaneously, a rare achievement in the field of Bharatanatyam. He collaborated with Grammy awardee Pandit Vishwamohan Bhatt to compose his innovative Rainbow True, a mega dance production based on famous English and American poems. He was invited to international tap festivals held in Oklahoma and St. Louis and has performed in Asian festivals in Columbus, Ohio, and many other places all throughout the US and abroad as well. Surya Performing Arts provides high-quality training and teaching of classical and folk performing arts, art forms such as dance, music, and theatre from India, and also organizes high-quality professional and amateur dance, music, folk, and drama performances from India and other countries. Through events such as Natya Festival that takes place in just less than 2 weeks in St. Louis, and we are going to hear a lot more about how this journey has been for Prasanna and where we are with today's Natya Festival, which is coming up soon. So what started as a St. Louis Dance Festival in 2008, the brainchild of Guru Prasanna Kasthuri has evolved in today's American Natya Festival, this year being the 17th year of the 3-day dance festival. So with that introduction, and also wanted to share that we know him as Prasanna Kasthuri, but he is very respectfully addressed as Guru Prasanna Kasthuri for his imparting of the knowledge of Indian classical dance in two forms, Bharatanatyam and Kathak, to many, countless number of students, both here in St. Louis and different parts of the US and abroad. So with that, I would like to welcome all of you to sit back and hear about Guru Prasanna Kasthuri's memorable journey through all of this.
Namaste, Shubhaji, and thanks for this interview.
So, Prasanna, growing up, what first attracted you to Indian classical dance?
Regarding my journey, I owe all my success to my parents, my mother Padmaja Kasturi and my father Raghusuta. Raghusuta is he is a writer in Kannada who wrote more than 700 works. So my mother also wrote like around 100 novels. So I owe to both of them, and also to my gurus who taught me Bharatanatyam, my guru Lalita Srinivasan and Narmada, and my Kathak guru Maya Rao, and later with Pandit Birju Maharaj and Shashwati Senji. So what started is actually I accompanied my brother to the dance class. So my father, at one point of time in 1940s, he went to Kolkata to learn with Uday Shankarji, the famous dancer who was a brother of Pandit Ravi Shankarji. So he was unable to maintain a lot of the things, going to a different city in 1940s and settling down and coming back, he couldn't do, but he had the dream. So he sent my brother to the class. I was accompanying him. So I was accompanying him and I came back and I was helping him learn. Then one day my father saw me, are you interested to learn? I said, yes, I wanted to. So he put both brothers. So I'm thankful to my brother who made me start. So that's how the journey began. I started with a guru called Mukund Kanekarji. So he was in our neighborhood in Yeshwanthpur. So later I moved to Guru Lalita Srinivasan. So all the teachers have blessed me with their knowledge. And it was a wonderful journey. So I'm still learning. It never ends.
Thank you, Prasanna. That really speaks volumes about how it all started, and truly, you have taken this on as your life's passion. So, you did talk about how you got into dance, Prasanna. Could you please talk a little bit about your training in Bharatanatyam and Kathak? You are very ably trained in both these art forms, which is not easy. It almost takes a lifetime to master one art form, and you have mastered two of those. So, how did it come about?
It's all the timing and Guru's blessings. So, as I mentioned earlier, I started with a teacher called Mukund Kanekar, and he started when I was very little, like 7 year old. I learned with him for 2 years, 1 or 2 years. Then I'm very fortunate to find my Guruji, Dr. Lalita Srinivasan. So she is a doyen of Mysore style of dance. She follows dance style from great Venkat Lakshma. She was a core dancer from Mysore Wadayar's royal dynasty, and she was very loving and affectionate to me, and she taught me many years. I did my Arangetram also with her. I did all my basic exams and everything with her. She was very fortunate. And meanwhile, I was introduced to another great guru called Narmada ji. So she is a follower of Tanjavur brothers uh, and descendants called Kittappa Pillaji. So I was lucky to learn with her Pandanalu style for almost like 10 years. So, and also while learning, I had a lot of my own friends who are now great dancers in Bangalore. So meanwhile, while I was doing all my exams and studying for the dance tests and everything, I came to know one of the greatest choreographer of India, who learned a lot of choreographic elements from Bolshoi theater from Moscow. Dr. Maya Rao. She moved from Delhi. She moved her Natya dance company to Delhi, and she established the Natya Institute of Kathak and Choreography. We are very fortunate, in Bangalore. The Kathak came into South because of my Guruji, Dr. Mayaro. I can tell you that much. So there was a lot of other people were there. Few people came, but Dr. Mayaro's contribution to bringing another one art form from north to south is totally belongs to her. You can see hundreds of people who are very famous now in Kathak. They're all Guru, Guruji's student, Mayaji's student. So I learned with Maya Rauji, we call Maya Didi. So with Maya Didi for several years, and we performed all across the country, and we learned the basic thing, advanced Kathak details. So while learning with Guru Lalita Srinivasan in 1980s, I was fortunate to have learned with Dr. Venkat Lakshma herself. So for 3 months, like intensive workshop, my Guru Lalita Srinivasan, she made us an environment and opportunity to learn. It was amazing to see how Dr. Lalita Srinivasan, Dr. Venkat Lakshma did the Abhinaya. So it was simply amazing. So fortunate to have so many gurus blessing me. So all my learning is because of them, and of course my mother and father, they blessed me. So probably from 1973, 74 till and I left India for higher education to USA in 1993, approximately 20 years. So I was groomed with in a kind of Gurukula system only. So we were almost every day we were going to the class. Unlike in America, they come once a week class. We never did that. So that's my learning. So
Truly, it's a blessing to have so many gurus and esteemed gurus who took you on as their shishya and the disciple. And as we say in the Indian culture, a guru is very important for the learning of any educational or art form. And he or she, the guru, is the esteemed teacher. And that's how respectfully Prasanna is addressed as Guru Prasanna Kasthuri for all his knowledge that he has imbibed from his gurus, from his teachers, and has been imparting successfully to all his students. Taking a little pause here, I wanted to ask you, you have been an expert in both Bharatanatyam and Kathak. Is there a favorite amongst the two for you?
Both are my favorites because each one has something to give. For example, in Bharatanatyam, you have geometry, you have varied vocabulary, and also it shows human restriction, because if you have some poses, some way of moving, human body cannot do. So if you want to get the speed and everything, you have to turn to Kathak. So Kathak gives the speed and mobility and grace, and very close to the real life stories it gives, whereas Bharatanatyam has more specialized one. um, both have a lot of things to give. It really doesn't matter which style it is, because in life we have, like, a gardener has to garden, and an industrialist to run the industry. So do you think which is not favorite? But both are hand to hand. So Kathak has a lot of stuff to give. Ultimately, what we master in what area of the body movement is the one which makes us the style. So can we combine those two? Yeah, you can, but it doesn't make any sense, so it's better to have this beautiful art form like this beautiful art form like this, because it takes years and years of dedicated practice to master those movement through your muscles, and to come and perform with the flow. So fortunately, we were blessed with both styles of dancing, so we were able to do it. And still, a lot of our friends who does both, we always speak, uh, you know, uh, performing both styles is very hard, because the way you approach each one is very difficult. But we have to set into the mindset and doing it. When you start setting your mind into the Bharatanatyam mindset, you will do Bharatanatyam, because we have to sit full Aramandi and do it. And hand gestures are really tight, and hold positions, and do very geometrical movements. When you do Kathak, you have to undo everything. You have to relax and do it. So in life, you have both. You have to be very strict, and we have to be very unrestricted too, because nature has its own way of saying, okay, I'm very strict. I'm very free flowing. So these two principles are really nicely shown in these two styles. So I like both of them. So
That's very true. And your daughter Samanvita, she is mastering in the contemporary dance forms too. So that speaks tremendously about how these styles, as long as the foundation has been placed in these classical styles, whether it is Bharatanatyam, Kathak, or any of the other classical dance forms, you can grow on that. You can develop from that. Is that right, Prasanna?
that's very true. We come from a great cultural background and heritage from India. We call Bharatavarsha. So this particular thought process and development of ideas and spreading of the knowledge takes a lot of human effort. When people go behind searching of the knowledge, so they have to use their willpower, they have to use their intellectual level intellect, and come up with the different results. So if you imagine, at this present situation, if you want anything, we put some word in chat GPT and get it so faster. So imagine how it happened thousands of years ago, when rishis sat down in Himalayas. They quietly meditated and thought all the process. So, and came up with a lot of shastras. Natya Shastra is supposed to be written by Bharata, taking essence from four Vedas. So, if somebody has to create, dance with experiences written in different Vedas, put it in one format, and try to teach and tell them, okay, use this one to show expressions and mirror the nature, mirror the human behavior. They must have taught a lot. So when Bharata wrote Natya Shastra with so many chapters and so many shlokas, thousands of shlokas, they all worked very hard, just like you all do research work these days. They researched, and when they researched those things, then they wrote it in the books, in the manuscripts, and which passed from teacher to teacher in Gurukula. So it, the knowledge what we possess in this century is just not from few dance gurus here. So it's been flowing from thousands of years, and when you have thousands of years of accumulated knowledge, it will be more wider and it will access anything. Just like AI is doing everything these days, so it's trying to get the knowledge from everywhere and then it gives answer. So we have done with human efforts itself. So when Natya Shastra was created with Bharata and Bharata's hundred sons, they try to think about possible movements of human body with all the joints, with all the body limbs and everything. They have done a wonderful classification, and I haven't seen anywhere that kind of in-depth work done in any part of the world.
We are very blessed that the Indian treatise, which is Natya Shastra, has laid out the whole structure so well, and thanks to just one person's research, Bharata, and gurus such as you have taken that on, have learned that in-depth knowledge and taken that further to develop and to kind of like also bring in some of your own styles and storytelling aspects and concepts. And also with your knowledge in both Bharatanatyam and Kathak, you have, I think, built into, have kind of like collaborated with both the styles such that you can bring unique elements into your productions. Is that right?
Yeah, it's right actually. The styles always Pandit Birju Maharji was there in one of the conferences. He said, "ये आपका style आप अच्छे करो, आपका style आपका अच्छे करो." Like my Guru Mayara also says, okay, if you have a style, it all your person. So it used to be like Kalakshetra style. They are strictly following those things. Some of them they have some Pandanur style. But I have one of my friend who is from Kalakshetra, a graduate. I asked her, so is your style completely Kalakshetra? No, my style is kind of changed. So it all when evolves, yeah.
Here, the limitation of time, because the students are involved in many other activities, um, is there. And so, with that in mind, how do you see the training of your students, and how do your students imbibe that knowledge, the knowledge that you want to impart, but at the same time balance their day-to-day activities and academia?
It is a challenge for the modern times. I was thinking it's only a challenge in USA, but it's a challenge of modern times because every person has to not only have to have it culture and traditional uh, stuff they can hold on to, and also to start learning the modern technology and join them and live in the society. And when it comes to the children in America, it's a little bit more harsher. I say harsher because they have to be a total American, doing all the American values in the school and everything. And when they come home, they have to really hold on to their traditions and mother tongue and rituals and other things. So it is kind of a very hard balance. They have to do it, and most of the children do it because when you pose them a challenge of learning, they learn both civilizations nicely, which is good. Good, uh, but some people cannot do. Some people do it. Those people who are able to do it, they are able to accomplish very good, knowledge of Indian um, history, philosophy, and arts. They are doing it. When it comes to not able to do it, few kids only do American things. So because it's a limitations of their own intellect. So here people do come to the dance classes once or twice a week, and that is good enough because most kids are responsible and they go home and try to practice and they do a good job with that. So, and it takes same number of years as they do it in India. no change. It goes hand in hand with normal education because they have to be trying to become to get a job somewhere to run their families. So dance is not come to that level where okay I can depend on dancing and do it. So that's why we are doing Natya Idol and everything. So we can set up, build a network, and support the artists. So if somebody wants to take up dance as a career, they can do it.
Thank you. That's a great thing, and that is possible because of the teaching and the knowledge that you have imparted earlier on. Um, so, what do you see as the role of parents in helping students develop and also keep their interest in the traditional art forms?
Um, One thing I noticed in USA is, just like any country, they have their priorities. They teach their ways of tradition and culture and history. So a lot of things coming from India, kids, we know a lot of things because we learned in Indian way and history, culture, and mythology, religion, everything. A lot of things are not taught in the routine schools here. So it becomes a very important part of the parents to pass the knowledge because all the children, we are all the reflection of our parents and grandparents, and that ancestral flow. If the parents want the kids to be possessing the knowledge of their heritage, they have to take one more step because in America it's not there. I mean, it's they try to help through like building temples, probably building some weekend classes and everything, but yet the child stays in the house more longer. So the number one thing I tell them is you be American, speak English, and understand all the society, and then be productive citizen of United States of America. But the Constitution also guarantees you freedom of religion, freedom of right expressions and everything. So this is a wonderful country here. Unlike any other country in the world, this is the only country where immigrants can come and live happily and also follow the religion and be very productive citizen. Very important. I haven't seen any other country. So parents have to do the job of building that environment where the kid will learn their traditions, they learn their language, especially language, very important. They tell their spiritual things. They have to make it a part. You don't have to do every time, but starting with the teaching of the language is very important. That gives a lot of things. Nobody is stopping in this country how many languages you speak. So each time I go to rent a car in enterprise, the driver is always ask me, how many languages do you know? I said five. I said five? I only know English, man. That's what they say. Learning me five languages, and with respect to your child, she should know at least whatever the mother tongue. Then they can learn English very good, very well. Then they can do Spanish, German, whatever it is. Learning should not be stopped, and they should know what they are. So it's we have to teach the kids and as a parents the values of our life itself, which we got it from our parents. That's very important lesson.
Prasanna, I wanted to ask you, what makes Surya Performing Arts unique compared to some of the other organizations or institutions that are there in the country at this time?
Surya performing arts is not one person. It is we have like many people, parents, friends helping us. You need a community to build raise a child. So whatever we do with respect to dance and music, you share the vision. There are supporting people who help us, and fortunately we are in beautiful state of Missouri, and the state of Missouri supports us, and it's through Missouri Arts Council, wonderful organization. We always thank for their support, and Regional Arts Commission. The city of St. Louis is amazing. So it's not one person. There are people to help if you want to go and do the job. So I think that's the only speciality we have. We don't mind spending time on making some other person great. Like whatever we are doing, okay, we try to support another artist. That's the main difference. Most of the dance schools, they do their own activities. Then their annual show, the end of it, they don't do beyond that. That's what is happening. Approximately like 20,000 dance gurus across the country. So we are going one more step because people want to help. People always want to help, and only thing is they don't know the like subject matter. So I am good at dance. I am good at dance field. What needs to be done? But a lot of people they are good in IT. They are good in doctor. They are good in research. If you ask somebody to come and do the job, they won't. So, but when somebody like a dancer takes up the step forward and works it, then they will help. Little bit help is fine, but they will help. So Surya Performing Arts is special because it's able to get people committed, get people involved, get people see the reason for that. There is a reason for everything. So the reason here is okay. If we have to have a infrastructure built for the art forum, we all came with two suitcases, right?
Right.
Two suitcases. So we and America is a very beautiful country. It gave us a lot of things. It also gave us space and time to relish our culture, and it's a melting pot of all the civilizations coming here. I don't think in human history, anytime something like United States of America got happened. So whoever the founding fathers of this country, they had this vision for the entire humanity. This is happening here. So that's why people come here. So and this is a beautiful place where we are supported nicely. Okay. And also when I communicate with all the other people, they said, okay, this is a nice thing what you're doing. So in that way, Surya Performing Arts is going one step forward, and I'm working very hard to connect with a lot of people and build that infrastructure. So that's where it's, I think, Surya Performing Arts is little different.
When did you start Surya Performing Arts?
Um, it started in 2003.
And it's come a long way.
Yeah, it has
It's
come
come
a
a
long
very
way. I
long way.
should definitely remember my good friend Ashok Malya. I didn't know about non-profit and other things. So he said, non-profit is that, it is not profitable to you, but profitable for community. So that's the thing he said. That because of his leadership we started, and then a lot of other people came. Now we have a very energetic and a very hard-working committee around us. Our president Nagendra is always there to help us. Our secretary Sumitra and treasurer Sriram and my wife Seemaji is also one of them, and our other members Srilu and um, Sudha and Devika. They're all working very hard. It's not one thing. And our Surya Performing School parents, they are all hand in hand. They are all very helpful. So it is that support runs the things.
So, Prasanna, I would like you to talk about the Natya Idol, which is now in progress, and then following that, we would also like to hear about the 17th American Natya Festival that's going to be happening in St. Louis very soon. So, if you can please enlighten us.
Yeah, let me start with the Natya Festival first. So, American Natya Festival was previously called as St. Louis Indian Dance Festival, and then we changed the name to American Natya Festival in 2013 or 14, so we can get the community across the country to come. And it was happening in same way before, but we changed the name. So basically, this festival started as part of my annual show, and we were having annual show. Then we decided, okay, let's call a couple of dancers. So it started very minimal, and then we got the support. Now it's become a one of the famous dance festival in USA, where people do come from across the country. And in 2017, we started very small way, whoever comes to the festival, they can compete kind of things. So they did compete. A lot of people got inspired and they went and did their other set of competitions. New Jersey Natyam is one of the things which started from our inspiration, I can tell, because they started later than us. And it so happened after the COVID, everything is kind of opened up. In COVID, we were stuck inside the house doing through the Zoom classes and everything. But that also gave us a thought process that we have to expand as much as possible. So in 2013, we opened up for 5 cities. So we had very good support, and everybody liked the idea. Natya Idol is nothing but it's just a competition. So it's where classical dancers come and perform, and those winners, they were given opportunities to perform in USA and in India, and everybody liked it so much, and we expanded it to 16 cities last year. So, and we had close to like around 600 students coming and performing, and those winners came here and danced in the finals. And later, they went and performed in India. And this year, we called more than 40 students to perform across the countries. So they all toured, which is a nice thing. We gave whatever we could to cover their expenses. We never asked them to dance freely unless they are very close to the place. So we try to raise the funds through Natya Idol, and then we give back. It's like in Kannada it says "Kere Yanironu Kerege Chelli." So this year it is so happening that I'm encouraging and discussing with all the dance gurus to set up a connecting dots. So in USA we have more than 10,000 dance gurus teaching, and at least 400 to 500 are very good teachers, and they have resources to do. And most important questions most of the dance gurus ask is, we work so hard, and we don't get enough opportunities. They are looking at opportunities like, when a child does learn from at the age of 6 to like before she goes to college, like 18. 6 to 18 is almost like 12 years of learning, and then they won't get enough opportunities to continue. That's why they don't do, and they will end up in a Bollywood team in college, in undergrad. So I started thinking about it. Then I suddenly realized who are the main persons to do this kind of work. It's uh, it's us. It's We are the teachers. Teachers have to take a lead. If gurus don't take the lead, we can't do it. So I'm requesting all the gurus. So do something. Most of the gurus said, "Oh, it's so expensive. I can't handle it." Then I gave a example. You have a party. What happens? You call people, give food, and send them. You have a Satchinand puja. Okay, you bring people, do the puja, and then feed some people and go. It is similar to that. No change. You call one girl, give her 45 minutes chance, and don't give any food or anything. Just bless her, give her a little bit of whatever dakshina and send. So it's a smaller scale, we can do it hundreds of programs. So that's what we need. So all I'm asking all the gurus is, okay, get into a community of people who can do very small scale events in their studios. Probably the temples can help because they have resources, or probably some organizations can help because they have resources. You don't have to go beyond certain limit, because Bharatanatyam doesn't need, or Kathak doesn't need, or any classical dancers doesn't need a huge space. They used to dance in the temple prakarams, which is very small actually, and people used to watch very closely. So we have to set up a system mutually talking to each other. So, and every place wherever I went, they're all agreeing. So we have to set up, because it is something pure dance. We have to do the organization ourselves within our limits, and we should do our best to help our future kids. So,
how do students apply for the Natya Idol?
Natya Idol is basically it's open in our website. Applying for Natya Idol is very easy. In natya.org, we have 18 cities. We completed the 17th one yesterday in Kansas, so anybody can apply. So our volunteers here, they help us to promote as much as possible, and a lot of gurus also helping. So hopefully it will become at least a 30 or 40 city network this year, and with support of all the gurus, if they start doing small scale, low cost dance programs, it will be helpful. One of the things I told yesterday in Kansas Natya Idol is, imagine a child who does a Rangamanch Pravesha or Arangetram in 2026, and in that one, while she does practice for Arangetram and she finishes Arangetram, if somebody offers her, okay, 2027 or 2028, you're going to have 3 shows. the kid will definitely practice. There's a goal set up. That goal, as a dancing community, we have to set up. Like parents have to get involved and set up, and gurus have to come forward and do those setups.
So everybody can find the information on natya.org.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Prasanna. Where do you see Natya Idol evolving in the next 5 to 6 years? If you can shed a little bit of light on that, because you have been doing this for some time now. We have 16 cities and you are envisioning like 30 to 40 cities. What else do you see in the evolutionary path for Natya Idol?
Not ideal. I don't think we can do more than 18 or 20 cities because it's a lot of work. But what I would envision is to set up a network of all the teachers who will help people who win in the Natya festival, I mean Natya Idol festival, and also in general for any Ranga Pravesha kid who really want to continue. So it's basically more than Natya Idol, it's more called a Natya network. So Natya network is the one which we want to develop with the help of all the gurus. So it is one step beyond Natya Idol. Natya Idol is just a competition. So sometimes competitions people do win, people do lose. But some kids who lose, they will also go out and work more hard to win next time. When they win, what is next? I always asking, okay, all these certifications you do, what's next? So that what is next is the one we have to create. So Natya network is the next, beyond Natya Idol.
And Guru Prasanna Kasthuri has, with all this knowledge and also the giving back to the community, has won a lot of awards and recognition. And you can find all that on the Surya Performing Arts website. Please go and check it out, Surya Performing Arts website again, and natya.org for the Natya Idol information. As a part of the closing remarks, I wanted to ask you, what is your advice for the students who aspire to get into performing arts, to get into dance, learning or performing, and what are some of the things that you would like to share in terms of advice for them?
It's life is very big. That's number one. Everybody has to understand. You may become a doctor or engineer, or you may become a full-time dancer. The amount of time you spend is the amount of return you get. Okay, so a lot of people say I can't dance because I'm becoming a doctor. They say I can't do because I have full-time jobs. But as an art, you have to take the art and explore it because it is not science. It's something to your heart only. So if you make some time and practice what you learned in your daily life, so it will really, after some time, it starts becoming like your own heart is evolving there, and you find a lot of peace. So that is a journey they have to take. And if anybody wants to take dance as a career, it is a challenging career now, as of now. But society is also getting it's evolving, and we all came with two suitcases. I told you, no, but this the same society is saying, okay, where is our art forum? Yes. When really it starts asking where are our people dedicated to art, then we have to have people ready for that. So it's a very slow process, and believe in what you do. So it will happen. So if you want to become a dancer and doing full time, you will win. If you want to become another profession, just dance little bit here and there. If you be consistently dancing with the dance company, you will definitely shine. So it's what path you want to take, you take it, but do it correctly. But don't leave the art away from your life. Somebody learned for 10, 12 years and they're not dancing at all. That means they're not really getting the benefit of it. So it has a benefit. So you have to go back to the place where your teachers start, see what you learned. As they grow older, they become more matured. So they will have that uh, the joy of art if they go into it. My advice to all the people who learned at least 10, 12 years with any guru, go back to your old videos, check it out if you can dance those things and memorize it and enjoy it. Just dancing is one thing. Beyond that is something, real siddhi. Siddhi is something which you have to connect yourself with art. So that's my advice.
Thank you very much, Prasanna, for those words of wisdom and also the in depth reflection that you shared with our audience today. And we are all excited and looking forward to the American Natya Festival that is going to happen in St. Louis the weekend of June 12th, 13th, and 14th in St. Louis. Please mark your calendars. It's a beautiful auditorium, great dancers coming from all over the country and abroad. And we really are very fortunate to be able to host this program thanks to Surya Performing Arts and Guru Prasanna Kasthuri. Once again, thank you very much, Prasanna. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.